you've got to be loaded, you know, like billionaire with the B. And then I don't care if you chain me to your private jet, put me on the propeller, I will go out in style. But we're on FaceTime, and
Jets don't have propellers.
That's your biggest breakdown of the whole
Exactly.
set.
It's the Stand-Up Teardown, conducting comedy autopsies. The Stand-Up Teardown now.
Hello, all you crazy cats and kittens out there in pod person land. Welcome back to another episode of Stand-Up Teardown. I'm your host, Sean Fau, and joining me as always is my lovely co-host, Mr. Matthew Ballek.
Hey, thank you. Ooh, applause today.
Yeah, I'm feeling generous.
Well, thank you. Well, it's great to be here. It's always wakes me up with that intro every time. Something about the way you hit that stand-up teardown. So Gilbert Godfrey-esque.
I'm not sure if I should be offended, but I guess I'll take it.
Hey, Gilbert Godfrey is a late great, R.I.P.
Oh, absolutely. But he's a very specific,
alluring voice.
Very much so. Yeah. Not a voice, not an aesthetic, not something most people would want to emulate, you know. But
well, yeah. Well, if I had you just saying "stand up, tear down" as like, I don't know, like a notification sound, I would be dropping. I would need the protection plan for
just
my phone.
put it as your text message voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do we got on the show today?
Well, per usual, rule of three, we got 3 comics, and these are full stand-up comedy specials, none of these half specials, that were somewhat recently released on YouTube. So these are all within a month or two hitting the tubes. So we got 3 comics I've not heard of. I know like last week we had maybe a few heavy hitters that we know. Yeah. But these are all unknowns to me. So let me take a look here. First up is, I think, Gary Vider or Vider.
Yeah, I kept seeing that as Gary Vider, which I think was a YouTube meme short of like Darth Vader's brother sort of thing.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you worked in a grocery store, if I remember. This like 15 years ago, internet stuff. Yeah, but do we know anything about Gary Vider?
I know he is known for like a sort of a deadpan delivery, dry wit, if you will. I think he's originally from Long Island, New York. And yeah, he's kind of done not the usual things, but he's, clubs, festivals. He's been on Conan when Conan had a TV show.
The actual TV show or the internet show?
I think the actual TV show, Conan, but probably the TBS era.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm trying to diminish it.
He's not a network
Conan.
boy.
Exactly.
Right on. Well, let's see what this guy's got. Oh, hit the button.
Things have been going all right for me. My wife and I, we had a new baby back in October. So, thank you. He's a big kid, 98 percentile in height and 98 percentile in weight. So I'm 100% sure he's not mine.
The deadpan part right.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, did the wide shot make him seem short? It's always hard to tell like how tall someone is, except like when fucking Joe Rogan's on stage, you can tell he's a munchkin. But it's yeah, I don't know that like again, we have this like weird thing about like TV cameras, like since they're always at the perspective of the person, like unless you're like really like a Brad Williams style dwarf that like is, proportionally different. It's really hard to tell like how tall someone is on camera. So like, I don't.
That's true. And like, yeah, when Conan was more on just network television, people didn't know he was.
Oh yeah, he's a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I want to say like 6'6" or something.
6'4", 6'5".
Okay. Oh, so he's like as tall as you. He's not that big.
Not that like freakishly tall, but maybe because he gets the extra lift with the hair.
Oh, that's true. That does add an extra like 5 inches to him. So.
Yeah.
I know he's mine because we had him through IVF, in vitro fertilization. If you don't know what that is, that's when a doctor takes a fertilized egg and puts it inside you. And the first few times it did not work. And finally I was like, can you please do it to my wife?
That's almost like a Henny Youngman there. Like, he needs the fucking violin. And
Misdirect, I know.
It's like some old school. Yeah, it's like some Friars Club shit with the, yeah. Except, yeah, the suit, but the like actual look, the like hair and the beard is not Friars Club, but like everything else is pretty Friars Club here so far.
A little bit. It got me laugh just thinking about it. So they're putting the eggs in him and just seeing him in his suit and everything. It just, yeah, it got me.
True.
People are always curious, so I'll tell you guys, $50,000. That's how much
Jesus
IVF
fuck.
costs to have our son. And I love my son. But I also would love $50,000. He's gonna be my size, that's what they tell me. They tell me he's gonna level out. He's gonna be exactly like me. And I'll be honest, for $50,000, I expected more for my money. I think I got scammed. All my friends are comedians. When I told them I was having a baby, they're like, you're so lucky. You're gonna get so much material from your baby. And every morning when he wakes up, I'm like, what do you got for me?
I was assuming that was going to be a diaper changing joke, but a little bit
I can see
more. Yeah. So far, it's very deadpan. So it's like hard to say. It's like it's polished, but it's all reliant on, you know, the joke construction here, and they like misdirect and everything. Like, it's not, he's certainly not a charisma energy performer, but it seems to be working for him.
Yeah, and it's a good like introductory topic material. So like, you know he's married, he has a kid, and getting right into the IVF stuff, which seems topical. But yeah, I don't really have a handle on what his comedy is. Just
I'm still reeling from 50 grand for fucking IVF. That just seems.
Yeah, your reaction to that.
I mean, I do everything I can to not have kids. Like, fucking paying Jesus, I don't care.
But it's always shit.
It was a diaper joke. I was fucking right. God damn it.
See, we stepped on it.
He actually just started saying dada. Yeah. Incredible. It's incredible hearing that word. Melts my heart. But everything's dada to him. A cup is dada. The sky, dada. I'm like, who's your favorite comedian? He's like, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Good misdirect, and also just like a ridiculous name to throw out. Just
Yeah, that's the comedy styles that his son is into. I like it.
I was like, yes, he is a very specific comedy style, but I was just thinking like the name, like that, you know, there's a lot of syllables there and a lot to throw out. Like, I don't know, just very specific.
As a guy, we do nothing during the birth. All my wife wanted from me was just to be there. That's all she asked. And the hospital did this for me. They gave me the option of where I could sit. They're like, do you want to sit by your wife's head where you get a pretty good view of the baby coming out? Or do you want to sit by your wife's feet where you get a great view? I'm like, I want to sit in the waiting room.
The look of concern was nice there. Like, he's not a physical comedian, but he's got a specific, like, there is a physicality to the deadpan that is actually a craft as well.
Yeah, I was concerned at first, like, oh, maybe it's gonna grow or like, just wear on me a bit, but no, he's got good like confidence with it, and even after the joke, kind of holds that character as well, which is good.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's almost like a Stephen Wright, but yeah, like more confident and more just like precise.
But I couldn't pick that, so I was like, all right, I'll go by her head. Next thing they did, they pulled in a stool for me to sit on. The stool had no back to it, and I sat on that stool for 8 hours while my wife was in labor, and I wanted to tell her how uncomfortable I was. But she was busy. We also have a 3-year-old, and I tell you, it's been a difficult adjustment for him.
I tell you, there's a fucking danger field there. You should have adjusted the tie a little bit.
Before, he used to get all of our attention. But now we have a new baby who we love way more than what's his face. Yeah, he was born during a very interesting time in this country. He was born on June 3rd, 2020. The height of Black Lives Matter. Yeah. A lot of racial tension was going on this time. A lot of civil unrest was happening. And while that was all happening, I was in the delivery room. And all I could think was that if he comes out black, which would mean my wife cheated on me, I'm gonna have to act happy about it. I can't be upset.
Of a thought.
Yeah.
A
yeah.
connection.
But I guess appropriate for the time.
So I was prepared in case. I'm like, all right, the doctor's gonna hand him to me. He's gonna know what went down. He's gonna be like, geez, this is not what you were expecting. And I was gonna be like, this is better than I was expecting. I can't wait to bring home little LeBron Vider. I'm trying to teach him stuff, trying to teach him colors. I wanted to be fun with it, so I was like, I'll do it with M&Ms. You know, he gets it right, he gets to eat one. And I showed him a red M&M. I'm like, what color is that? He's like, yellow. I go, that's not good. I showed him a blue M&M. I'm like, what color is that? He's like, green. This went on and on. He didn't get any right. Still gave him some M&Ms, though. I tell my wife, and she goes, I hope he's not colorblind. I'm like, let's hope he is colorblind. Because if not, we've got ourselves an idiot. You're told to cherish these times with your kids because it goes by fast. They grow up so fast, and they really do. And now as a parent, I see it. Both my boys already have hair in their balls. Yeah. I mean, I drew them on, but still.
Did you say how long this dude has been doing comedy?
No, I did not, and I
Right
don't
on.
know it.
Well, I guess if
But
it's
yeah, he's very polished, and I love that he doesn't like break or like laugh or smile at the in between jokes. Like, kind of
Absolutely.
keeps the character going.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long it took him to like polish that and get to that point of like finding this voice, because that's like it seems like it'd be a hard thing to like maintain this for a fucking hour unless he is just like, you know, autistically fucking dead inside. Like,
Yeah, this is not put on at all. This is just how he interacts.
he's just a fucking robot that got some good material on it.
Right.
Fuck.
I was with them the other day, and I'm pushing the stroller along with the baby in it, and my 3-year-old, he's riding his tricycle. And coming towards us, walking in the opposite direction, was this woman. She was walking her pit bull, and her pit bull had on a tie. And I see them coming, so I just move my sons a little bit over, and this woman yells out, "What's your problem? Can't you see? He's a friendly pit bull. He has on a tie." I'm like, yeah, lady, I see that, but I'm not going to take that chance. You know? How would I explain that to my wife if our kids were mauled by that dog? Honey, I'm so sorry. I thought he was on his way to a business meeting. He was dressed for success, so... My wife would have seen that pit bull coming a mile away. Maternal instincts. You know, mothers are truly incredible. She's on top of everything before it's ever a problem. She told me this. She's like, I got this app. I want to be ready when our boys start using a computer. I'm like, they're 9 months old and 3 years old. Do we need this? She's like, we need this. She's like, this app will let us know any website they visit, even if they delete something in their search history. I'm like, do we need this? She pushes a button, up pops up a bunch of adult sites, recently visited on her home computer. And my wife was mad, very mad. And I was like, let me talk to them. These kids are disgusting. My wife said to me, she goes, hypothetically, she likes to do those. She goes, hypothetically, if we had an intruder in our home, would you be able to protect our family? And I'm like, hypothetically, yes. I could do anything hypothetically. She's like, Gary, it's very important for me to feel secure that you'd be able to protect us. What makes you think you could do it? And I'm like, I would have an adrenaline rush under that circumstance, and that would help me defeat the intruder. And she's like, that makes me feel much better. Well, what I didn't tell her is that the intruder would also have an adrenaline rush. And his would be way better than mine. He'd kill us in seconds. Plus, I know my body. In that situation, it would not even pump adrenaline. It would pump estrogen. I'd be dealing with that. I get it. My wife, she wants a man who makes her feel safe. And that makes two of us.
This guy like smoothly rolls into like each topic. Like it's not really like he's doing transitions. He just kind of like goes on to the next thing, but it all like somewhat connects enough to like, yeah. And it's certainly not jarring as he's going from like random topic to random topic, but it's all like in the universe of family based comedy. So I guess that is kind of an easy common thread to sew between.
Perhaps, but I agree that like I kind of haven't noticed any hard topic switches. Like they kind of like are jolting like that. So yeah, you're onto something there.
And I will say like the production that I'm seeing is it's exactly what it needs. Like he is a very reserved person and the production is very reserved. We have, a slight movement to some of the shots and like we're, seeing, just the back of blacked out audiences. But like, it's not crazy. There's nothing annoying about it. It's like just polished and professional. Like it is the actual technical production here is a really good reflection of like his technical stand-up comedy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's, like we've seen a bunch of these where it's like, the comedy is good or the comedian's good or the energy is good, but it's shot like shit or it's shot really well and the comedy just sucks. But like, this is like a good example of like matching the style of the comedy to like the style and the pacing and the editing and of the shot structure. Like it helps the performance rather than distracting from it.
Yeah. And part of why I'm not noticing any like hard, like topic changes as well. Like part writing, but yeah, it's just like it has a good flow to it.
Yeah, it just makes it all smoothly flow together.
She has a fear of being taken. She saw that movie 20 years ago, and that's where this all comes from. I tell her, you have nothing to worry about. In 20 years, no one has ever made an attempt. And I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but she's not primed to be taken. I know her very well. She asks a lot of questions. She repeats herself. If that movie was about my wife, it'd be called We Can't Take Her Anymore. We've had it. Her new thing is she wants to get a gun. She's like, Gary, we have to get a gun, but we have to put it in your name because my name would get flagged because of this bipolar medication I was on a couple years ago. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to go ahead and flag that as well. I don't think that's in my best interest. I had to defend her once, our entire relationship. We were walking through Times Square and some guy grabbed her ass. She turned to me and she goes, some guy just grabbed my ass. And first thing I said, I'm not proud I said this, I was like, what do you want me to do about this? And as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, that's not the right thing to say. And I could tell by her face it was not the right thing. I could tell she wanted me to do something. So what I did was there's a woman walking by, I grabbed her ass. I just figured it'd be like a pay it forward type deal. I've never been in a fight. I've been punched in my face. It was a mistake. The person who did it afterwards, he's like, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. He punched me in my face and then apologized. I apologized back. I'm like, I'm sorry for looking like that guy. I wound up with a black eye. And when you get a black eye, you should look tough. Immediately you should look tough if you get a black eye. It did not have that effect on me. I remember I was walking around with my wife with it. I thought people would see me and be like, that guy fought another guy. But with her by my side, they were like, I think she hits him.
Oh, right on. I'm going to have to call it there. But yeah, good stuff. And definitely a well-polished... I don't think we've seen this, like, style of stand-up on the show before. This, you know, extremely deadpan but well polished and just like confident performer. There's you know, again, nothing. It feels like it's like a late night show performance. Just the blue curtain, the very simple shot structure, and like him kind of standing in one place, which I usually bitch about, but like it totally works for his persona.
Yeah, with his delivery style and everything, I agree on that front. So yeah, I would come back to this one. This one again was Gary Vider. I think we're getting that pronunciation correct this time. With the special, It Could Be Worse. Also an apt title. So next up, another comedian I'm not familiar with. This is Brittany Schmitt. She's a Los Angeles-based stand-up comedian, writer, and producer. I believe, yeah, she had a popular comedy album called From Hoe to Housewife. And I think she also, performs at comedy clubs. And outside of that album, I think that's all I know.
Right on. Oh, let's give her a shot here if I can.
Okay, sit down. Wow, you guys are very obedient. I just celebrated
It's a very short skirt.
an anniversary recently. I am 1 year sober. That is how I opened my first special also, so I relapsed. But don't worry, I just smoked pot and did mushrooms and ayahuasca. So it was all plant-based. I do call.
Is this our second mushroom special in a row then?
Oh, well, I don't think she's literally high on mushrooms for this one, but
No.
a mushroom reference at least.
So it's not a callback?
From a different comedian? That's completely
From
against
3
rules.
episodes ago? Come on!
Yeah.
my vegan relapse. But I did have to get sober again, and it's a miracle I ever got sober in the first place because I am from Wisconsin. And they just did a survey of the 50 drunkest counties in all of the United States, and 41 of them are in Wisconsin. The map was color-coded. It was red if you were one of the drunkest counties and blue if you weren't. So Wisconsin was just red. And then there was a blue spot in the middle. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that we had a sober county. So I zoomed in, and it was a lake. But people are very close-minded where I'm from. Where am I from exactly? My house.
I was with her until that.
Right, we pause on that.
Yeah, I was actually getting ready to pause because I was going to kind of compare her to the last dude. Like, she's got a little bit more of a zany style, but still a pretty deadpan delivery on things and like a very sort of, you know, stationary presentation. But yeah, not too bad so far, except for that one last joke that rubbed me the wrong way.
My dad was a little homophobic when I was growing up, and by that I mean he was homophobic. And he told me, he was like, Brittany, homophobia saved my life. And I was like, I'm gonna need more information. He said he was at a bar, and a guy came up to him and grabbed his ass, and instead of him being open to his sexual journey, he punched him in the throat. And then 2 weeks later, my dad's friends called him, and they were like, Charlie, turn on the TV. The guy you punched in the throat is on TV. And my dad turned on the TV, and it was Jeffrey Dahmer. Maybe that's not a joke. Maybe that's just a story about how my dad's cooler than your dad. And he's out there doing the Lord's work. Like, we know Jeffy for his 17 kills, but we don't know how many rednecks cold-cocked him in the fucking neck. So after my dad told me that story, I was like, Dad, what were you doing in a gay bar? And I was like, now might not be the time for me to tell you this, but I am bisexual. And then he punched me in the throat. That's how my Thanksgiving went.
Like, if that Dahmer thing isn't true, it's not a funny joke. Like, if it's true, it's fucking hilarious. Like,
Yeah, I agree there for sure. But so far, I'm digging the special. Like, I was sort of expecting not to like it at first glimpse, but yeah,
because the
like,
skirt are too short.
it may be, or I thought it was going to be like more, or like the LA thing. I'm going to be like, oh, this is going to be that, whatever, in my mind. But no, it's like really good, like tight joke writing, really like confident performance. So I'm digging it.
Well, yeah, being raised in Wisconsin is very different than being raised in LA. Like, just being.
Yeah, maybe the Midwest angle. And I think the special title, which I forgot to mention for this one, is just horny. So I was really like, oh, this is just going to be like crass, like sex and dating comedy. But
yeah, that. When I saw
we'll
that,
get
I
there.
was definitely trepidatious, we'll say. As I've said before, a lot of times, like, female comedians can rely too heavily on that, like, that cutesy sort of, sexual sort of borderline, like, simping rather than actually joke crafting sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, she's not leaning into that really at all.
I
kudos.
love my dad, but he is an imperfect man. He also gets drunk and says the N-word.
The audience reaction.
Hear that?
the
That's
pin drop.
white guilt.
The LA audience.
I told him, I was like, Dad, you got to stop that. And he didn't. So now every time he says the N-word, I just fuck a black guy.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
My grassroots effort to reverse his racism. Reverse cowgirl his racism.
She should have led with that joke.
Led with that.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I agree.
She didn't need the double punchline there.
Two, yeah.
Yeah, just go with reverse cowgirl, that racism. That would have, doubling it up, like, it loses the punch. But that is a good joke as written, but, like, that reverse his racism before reverse cowgirl, I think, is what is detrimental to that delivery there.
Yeah, like diluted the laugh, or that one said as a
Absolutely.
funnier line.
Yeah.
For those in
I
the
call-
know.
Indeed.
Community cervix.
There you go.
That was a good
It
one.
was difficult to do as a 10-year-old, but
Right on.
getting easier with time. My husband and I, we had an open marriage because we wanted everybody to know it was ending. My ex had me in hospice. That is where hoes go to die. Don't worry, I got out. You know your marriage is in trouble when you start really cheering for a mistress. I was like, I just want someone to fuck the shit out of you. And he was like, you could do that. And I was like, I think my time here is done. I just started interviewing nannies. He's like, but we don't have kids. I'm like, we all know what nannies are for. You know? But being married to a man is tough because men don't know how to cheer women up at all. Like, I was on a heated call, and my ex, he popped his head in the room, and then he left, which means he thought about this. And he came back, and he put his balls on my shoulder. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he looked at me like I was the asshole. And I was like, I'm on a Zoom call. You don't want to be in a relationship I could end it there, but you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't believe in you, for real. And my ex didn't believe in me, not with the important stuff. Like, he didn't think I could fuck Drake. And I can tell by some of your silence that you also don't think I could fuck Drake. I think if I could find him, I could fuck him, you know?
I thought she was going to say she already did.
Yeah, I was waiting for that reveal, but
Yeah, her transitions are a little bit clunkier than the last dude's, but like she does get to that next joke, but it like I think she's got a little bit too much of the waiting for the audience thing going on. She's like letting the laugh die down too much before she continues on with the next thing, or it almost comes across like she's like either trying to remember her next joke or like laughing too much at her own shit to like really kind of keep that pace going.
that's a good note. Do you think it's anything to do with like editing of takes at all, or just like a one shot to you?
No, yeah, it feels more like her pacing issue. Like there were a couple of edits in there that were not necessarily the cleanest, but I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't expect seeing her in person to flow much differently than seeing her in this edit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let's see what the next like topic category is we're coming up on.
I'm not saying he'll write a song about me. I am not saying that I won't be escorted off of the property afterwards. But I do think I could be Drake's mistake, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Tiger Woods documentary, but he got so sick of fucking a supermodel that he went into a Perkins and started fucking the hostess. So I feel like I could be Drake's Denny's bitch. You know? He goes in hungry and I give him a grand slam. That's anal. After I got divorced, I texted this guy in the NBA that I used to hook up with, and I was like, yo, I'm single again. Do you want to blow my back out? And he said, nah. I said, cool. Do you have Drake's number? And he was like, you're like 20 years too old for Drake. I was like, I am 34. And he was like, exactly. When you're a married woman and you get divorced, you realize you have no male friends for real. Like, I thought I had a bunch of male friends, but you've just got motherfuckers waiting in the wings. Okay? Like, I have this guy in my life that I talk to 3 times a week. He calls me his little sister. The second I told him I was getting divorced, he's like, so we fucking or what? I was like, you call me your little sister. And he's like, I'm from the South. So I fucked my brother. I'm just kidding. I got on dating apps, which are a fucking haunted house. Like, guys will put up pictures of them and like 3 other people. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't fuck any of these people. And my friend took the phone from me and she's like, well, these are his kids. We live in Hollywood, baby. The most eligible bachelors are children. When a guy in LA says he's looking for a 9 or a 10, he does mean you're old. No, guys will ask very stupid questions on dates, too.
That seemed like an awkward edit.
The other day asked me for my body count. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's how many people you've slept with. And I was like, ballpark? And he was like, sure, ballpark. And I was like...
3 ballparks?
No, you could fill a ballpark. Right?
Okay.
Yankee Stadium. I got on another dating app called Field. And this app was positioned...
I think that's the problem with her pacing. She leaves way too much air for you to fill in the joke yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I was just thinking that, yeah, if she just went right to Yankee Stadium, like after a slight pause, not as long.
Yeah, don't
a bigger laugh.
Don't give the audience the time to fucking connect dots that might even be better than the dots you're connecting. Like, you kind of just got to like
You think three
Get
ballparks was a better connect?
I don't even know if it was a better connect. It was just,
Just like you said, the way you said better, it made me laugh.
no, I mean, depending on the delivery, either one could work and whatnot. But like, you know, just the more breathing room you give it, unless it's something completely out of left field, it's not going to land as well with, you know, a lot of the audience. But if you're playing to just drunk crowds at night, then maybe it doesn't matter, and they're not going to get there anyway.
True.
By my friend, it's a sex positive kink app, and my friend told me it was the most honest dating experience she's ever had, because guys just put what they're into in the bedroom on their profile. There's no hidden agenda. So I got on Field, and what I learned very quickly is that I love a hidden agenda. Hide your agendas, you sick freaks. I got on there thinking I'm a pretty freaky girl, and as I started scrolling, I was like, I might be a virgin. I don't know if I've had sex for real. Like, the first guy I matched with, he was submissive, and I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, what are you into? And he sent me an illustration of a woman fisting a man.
Oh, my.
And for the first time in my life, I was like, could you warm me up with a dick pic? This is insane behavior.
So,
And then
baby.
the next guy I matched with, he was dominant. And I was like, what are you into? And he's like, I want to hit you so hard you go back into your mom. I was like, well, that's just going to be me flying into a pile of ashes. Hopefully you're into Santa falling down the chimney, because that bitch is dead. He unmatched me. And I will say this, I was out of the game for 8 years, and I feel like dating now is like interviewing to work at Google. There are so many rounds, right? Like there's like FaceTime, in person, and then right when you think you got the job, some diversity candidate just comes in. It's like some Puerto Rican chick I'd also rather be fucking. But the third guy that I matched with on Field, he insisted that we FaceTime. So I was like, fine, whatever. We get on FaceTime, and he's like, I'm Switch. And I was like, I'm Brittany. And he's like, no, I'm Switch, which means sometimes I'm dominant and sometimes I'm submissive. So sometimes...
I thought it was Switch from the Matrix. No, I thought it was like well, she was implying it was his name, but Switch from the Matrix was sometimes a girl and sometimes a boy. So, like, that...
Oh.
I'm going to want to chain you up and whip you, and sometimes I'm going to need you to peg me. And I was like... Call me old-fashioned. But what happened to, like, what kind of music do you listen to?
Right.
I was like, okay, let's break this down and start with the pegging, obviously. And he was like, my ex-wife was sexually suppressive, so she refused to peg me. And I was like, you poor thing. Could I have her number? I feel like we're more on the same page. So he's like, what I would have to do is I would put an ad up on Craigslist, and I would have a trans woman fuck me in the bathroom of a Ralph's.
That's a very specific
Very
request.
specific.
And I was like, which
Laugh is
Ralph's? So I can never shop there again. And then the chaining up and the whipping. I'm like, do you know how much I would have to trust somebody to let them chain me up? Like, not very much, but but you've got to be loaded, you know? Like, billionaire with the B, and then I don't care if you chain me to your private jet, put me on the propeller, I will go out in style. But we're on FaceTime, and
Jets don't have propellers.
That's your biggest breakdown of the whole set.
Yeah. Yeah, she's decent. I definitely spoke a little too soon about the not hitting the sex stuff. That seems to be
when your special's called horny, it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. She took a second to get into it though, so I guess that was the foreplay. But,
Yeah. Nicely done.
Indeed. Who do we got up next?
All right, this one should be the wild card. This is Ian Stanley, and there's an
Are
asterisk.
they all wild cards? Didn't you know any?
This one, I think, is the wildest card for me because I'm just not sure if it's just going to be like what this is going to be, or if it's going to be one of these like, if you're easily offended, get out of here.
Shock jock shit.
That's what I'm concerned about, and also the
just
special
because
title.
it's called
Controversial, but no, it's got the what would be the O in controversial is an asterisk, so I'm guessing he's going for controversial. You think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Holy shit, guys. How you doing? That was a lot of noise. Yeah. Let's fucking do this, guys. We're strap in. Let's go. Thank you so much. Cheers, everybody.
Bit of an accent there. Cheers.
Yep, I know.
Anybody dating
I
here?
think he is originally from the UK, so
Yeah, the flag behind it was a pretty big giveaway there.
Dead giveaway. Okay.
Anybody who met on a dating site? Who? Any of the? Okay. What about you? Oh, FedEx hat, dude. Holy shit. This dude's wearing a FedEx hat. Dude, I just love when shit gets to the right place on time, man. Oh, you were okay. He does work for FedEx, guys. Just in case you. I thought you were just like. I love when shit shows up on time, man.
So weird. It's like every fifth word has the accent that's really prominent, but otherwise he just sounds like a American, I don't know, Texas dude or something.
Oh, it gets me going. What app did you guys meet on? Oh, Plenty of Fish? Fucking seriously? I didn't even know that was a real thing people used. That is insane. Plenty of Fish. What is the motto? We don't have good people. We got a lot of them. Quantity over quality. Holy shit. I didn't even know. I thought that was like a joke one that people talk. Wow. And how far into it?
It also seems really odd to start your special with crowd work.
I was gonna say the same thing. We didn't get hardly any entry.
Yeah.
Intro jokes.
No intro. Yeah. No ease in. No. Who am I? Why is there a British/American flag behind me? Or is that Australian flag? Whatever the fuck that is. Yeah. It just. Yeah. I mean.
Is
okay
he more
so
pop?
far.
I don't think he's well, I don't know what his credentials are. If he's
I've never heard him before, but there's a million
yeah.
podcasts out there. So yeah, who knows who has a crowd and who I mean, it could be one of those things where he's, well known enough to only play to his crowd and everyone already knows who the fuck he is. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
2 weeks. Oh my. You use this now? Do you guys even have iPhones? Do you have flip phones? What are you fucking doing? Android. Oh, he's an Android guy. Fucking green text. Fuck you. Plenty of Fish. Do they even have an app, or is it just like a website? Or do you send a pigeon? It's an app. He's taking it serious. No, it's an app. It's really legit, man. You should see how many fish they have. It's fucking incredible. I meet all my women and I fill my aquarium on plentyoffish.com. Unbelievable. Good for you guys. Give it up for 2 weeks in, man. Yeah. How much longer do you think it's going to go?
I give it a day or two.
Oh, damn, dude.
The fuck was that?
What? I give it a day or two?
The green bubble that came up with it.
Oh, they're going for the text message bubble.
Yeah,
Green text
that was weird.
for Android.
They brought up the audio level for the guy in the crowd, but they also put up the green Android text, which is I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Is that a little visual callback, maybe?
Yeah. But then that feels like cheating. Then that's not well, first we've already established it's the same bit, so it's not a callback. But
No, and the audience is not seeing it. So
Yeah, weird.
You live with him? Oh, fuck you guys. God, come on. I got a whole show to do. I could do the whole thing with you guys. You guys are waking up. Can I explore this for just a minute? Wait, did you already live together when you met on Plenty of Fish? What's your name? Colton! You're on the app! Should we just date? We already live in the same house! Yeah, sure, yeah, it's a good commute, actually. Yeah, I could walk over to your place. I could fuck you in your room. That's so convenient, dude. They got Plenty of Fish. They got all the fish. He's in my fucking house, dude. Wait, fuck. Okay, so you live together, 2 weeks, going well. Just take me through that for just a moment here.
We met on Plenty of Fish. We're talking. We actually met that night when we started talking. Called her.
Yeah, that's how meeting people works. We met when we started meeting each other. I met her when we met. But do you want to explain anything else, like breathing or anything for me? Heavy breathing? Jesus. Okay.
So we met at the gas station down the street from my house.
Oh, fuck you. Oh my God, you met at a gas station? Plenty of Fish. You can have your first date at a gas station. Man, I gotta tell you one line. Anybody here watch Karate Kid or Cobra Kai? Okay. First off, I'm Team Johnny all the way. If you're Team Daniel's son, you're a pussy. Okay, that dude is a pussy, but he has one of the best lines in TV history in that show. And Johnny Lawrence goes to get food in a gas station. He goes, "Oh, what, Daniel? You too good for gas station food?" And he goes, "You know what? I think I am." And I felt that. You guys did not. You're like, "Hey, you want a 3-day-old hot dog? It's warmish." Okay, so you meet at the gas station. Which brand? If you say Stinker, I'm gonna shit my pants right now. Chevron. Oh, high class. Okay, so you mean, he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna take her to Stinker. Went to Chevron. I wanted some pussy, okay? Take her to a high class. I'm not gonna take her to Shell, okay? I'm not made out of money. But I'll take a bitch to a Chevron."
I can't believe we're 5 minutes into this and he's still on the same fucking crowd work like couple. Like, again, this is a fucking it's a bold move for a special. Like,
he wanted to shoot it with the live audience, but to keep it in for the special edit this way, because he was like, "You guys got time? Like, I'm gonna play around here for a little bit." It seems, a little self-serving, but yeah, it's just not hitting the laughs for me on the crowd work as much.
Yeah, I mean, crowd work is, it's hit and miss, and yeah, it's like it's improv. It's not stand-up comedy. It's a different muscle. Like it's entertaining and can be amusing, but it's not like crafted jokes. It's not, a well-honed routine. It's a different vibe. Like I don't hate it, but it's certainly, again, it's just an odd choice for a fucking hour special starting off.
Agreed.
Okay, so you go to Chevron, 10:30 at night. Great time for a first date. Hey, I'll just take you out back behind it and handcuff you to a radiator. Jesus. I mean, just no precautions for your own safety. Well, he works for FedEx. How bad could he be? He said he was going to deliver a package behind the gas station. You do all the time? Dude, I feel like we gotta do another show someday with just you and me having conversations about the mistakes you've made. You don't have to live it in my house. I would feel unsafe. I'm sure you're great at it. Okay, so you're at the gas station, it's 10:30, you're just like, "Oh, this is my husband. This is gonna be the guy." And then where'd you go for the second date?
We went to Big Al's.
Oh, wow, Big Al's, yeah. Classy, they wanted to find a kid to take home.
Any idea what Big Al's is?
No.
Right on.
She's just, "Do you want to have kids?" She's like, "Yes." He's like, "I bet we could find some at Big Al's tomorrow. Just scoop them up at the skee ball machine and take them home." Holy shit! I got.
Oh, I assume it's like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay,
Then?
yeah. Once that ski ball might make sense. Big
Yeah,
L's. Sounds like
weird.
maybe a southern Chuck E. Cheese.
Stop, because I got a whole thing I was gonna do tonight. I'm filming a comedy special actually, and so.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And we're back on the
man.
on-ramp.
Yeah. Again, weird choice, but it's maybe. Like if I'm trying to think like how this even happens. Like I assume, usually when you do a stand-up special, you record like 2, 3, maybe even 4 sets, and like, you wear the same clothes so you can cut everything together, and like maybe he just started out every night with a little bit of crowd work and this was the best one. Or maybe it's just he's flying by the seat of his pants.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
God, hey, thank you for sitting them here. Holy shit. I feel like God delivered a package and it was you. I want to get you. God is my FedEx driver. Wow. Whew.
It's not that
So
good.
dating sites, there's so many
Yeah.
dating sites now. You got dating sites for everybody. You got JDate, you got Christian Mingle, you got blackpeoplemeet.com. Should laugh at the racist. We found the racist, you guys. She's like, they have their own websites now?
Yeah, the post pop-up video graphic things are kind of weird. I don't think I like it here. Like, we've seen similar stuff before in some of the other specials, but like, I don't know, something about it's rubbing me the wrong way on this one.
Yeah, I think even just the font choices make it seem a little bit more like it was done on a consumer grade editing.
Well, you're a font Nazi, so that's a whole other fucking
Not a
issue.
font Nazi. I can just recognize when I don't like a font.
You don't like any of them. How many fonts did I send you? Fuck.
I don't think they should have those. You're fine. It's okay. Any black people close by? You guys okay? We're in Boise. We got one. We got the Boise black guy, you guys. He's here. Yeah.
That's a white lady. Oh, there we go. Lighter.
It's, I met him on meetblackpeople.com. Trying to diversify my portfolio. They wouldn't let me on blackpeoplemeet.com, but meetblackpeople.com. It's great. Oh shit! But you can't have whitepeoplemeet.com. Right? That's not okay. It's like just Hitler match. We can't do that, but they do have a new one coming out. It's called OKKK Cupid. Yeah. The tagline, it just says, if you're looking for Mr. Right, we know he's white. It's a joke. It's not a real site. Fuck you. I had an Asian friend who goes, yeah, well, we don't have there's no Asian dating sites. I'm like, dude, you guys had the original dating site before the internet. You guys had the Yellow Pages.
Groner.
Yeah. Maybe you should go back to crowd work. Fuck.
That's called a temp check, okay, guys? If that's too far, you're in the wrong fucking room. Okay? Yeah. I'm not gonna do any political jokes. I got one, and I have to do it. I gotta talk about Biden just because we don't know how much time he's got left. And I gotta get this in. By the time the special is, he may not be with us anymore. And I
So true.
Yeah, prophetic.
make this joke about a living person. Okay, first up, I do think I've solved politics. If you can't run for president. I think that's fair. I think we should have a president.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Roosevelt
heard
in a
that
wheelchair.
line
There's a better punchline.
Presidential combine. Like the NFL combine, but for presidents. I'll tell you what, you live stream that shit, every person on earth is watching. They gotta do a 40-yard dash. Biden does it in 29 seconds. With his aide behind him. They got a bench, but it's just the burr. You got to be able to eat corn on the cob with your real teeth. Here's my thing about Biden is just, I think he's the best AI we've made yet. It's such a good robot. You're like, oh my God, it's almost human. And then every once in a while you just get a little glitch. Like, oh fuck. Like you'll see him read a teleprompter and he's just like, wave to the crowd. I just like to imagine a team of computer programmers in the back like, God damn it. He'll just get off stage and just shake hands with the air. Hi. Like, God damn it, who wrote that code?
I feel like this would have been a lot more edgy like 2 months ago, but like since Biden stepped down or since, is not running anymore, like we don't feel the need to pretend that he's a human anymore. So like these jokes are just kind of like taken as truth at this point. Like it's not even a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like it doesn't have like the angle of surprise for me on the jokes here. So it's like it's not getting the laughter. I'm sort of like I like his performance style, and he's definitely like confident, good voice and everything. But so far, I'm not like they're just not hitting for me just yet.
Yeah, it's all like well-trod territory. Like there's nothing too insightful or new here. Like I don't know. I kind of want to give him another.
I need like an overarching theme, or what's his like angle on life? Maybe I'm asking too much.
Yeah, I think so at this point, but I want to give him a little bit more here.
You see, his greatest enemy is stairs. That's ridiculous. Him and FDR. For the young people, he was in a wheelchair. At least he was wheeling and dealing, though, That's stupid.
It is.
My favorite Biden moment, though, had to be, anybody see him fall off the bike? Yes! Hell yeah, brother, I saw that shit! That's not something I should be saying about a president. Like, oh, did you see Timmy, the 5-year-old around the neighborhood? He fell off his bike. You're like, oh, that makes sense. People like, he fell off his bike. Oh, damn, was he like bombing down a hill? So he just fucking, no, he wasn't actually moving at all. He was standing, actually.
Yeah, I feel like a few months ago, people weren't doing the Biden jokes, and they were trying to prop him up a little bit more, and so like this would have been an edgier bit, but at this point, yeah, it just doesn't have any real teeth to it. It's just almost kicking a horse while it's down, or whatever the fucking saying is. Like,
right? Yeah. Should we like maybe move it ahead a bit, or do we want to cap him off?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him one more joke here.
Okay.
That's where you know they wrote the code for how to get on the bike. Right, and then they wrote the code for how to ride the bike, and they just forgot the code for how to get off. And you just see him, and he's there, and he just goes and just eats it. That's my only political stuff. Actually, I was thinking about doing like 45 minutes on Israel and Hamas. What do you guys? That's a joke.
It's not even like really political stuff. It's just more of like he's also just trying to shoehorn in AI. For some reason, I'm like, I don't get why Biden is the best AI, but then he describes him just making a lot of mistakes. Where it's like,
yeah, it's just weird mixed premises.
I don't get that angle. Yeah, it's just like buzzword premise and like.
And again, I think missing any sort of intro or any like lead up into his style of comedy, I think was detrimental to a special there. Like just, not having any real sense of his voice other than like mocking someone in the audience. Like the crowd work was okay, but it's not a good look at like who he is as a comic, really.
Yeah. I felt almost a little cruel with the crowd work. It wasn't like less funny. It's more like, oh, look at you guys. Aren't you guys stupid?
Yeah. Look at these fucking losers. Can you believe they afforded a ticket? Yeah.
Do we need to pay them royalties? No. Oh my God, they are great.
Yeah. Well, I think you sign a waiver when you go in. So yeah.
For a taping.
Well, I guess Who was your favorite?
I'm gonna have to say our first one of the night, Gary Vider, was my favorite of the three. Just for the smooth delivery, like kind of a consistent character, and nice flow with his jokes.
He was the most polished, the most confident, the most like in control of the stage. Like he definitely had a professionalism to him and a well-crafted jokery. Like the actual craftsmanship of the jokes, the writing itself was funny, and like his deadpan delivery I think worked well. What was there? Brittany Schmitt was okay, but
I liked her, but I was kind of more in the middle, but medium high.
And then who's this guy? Stanley. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got some stuff, but like he again feels kind of more like one of those energy comedians, more so than a craftsman. It's all just about like hanging out with your buddy on stage rather than like a real, laugh a minute fucking romper. I don't even know. Yeah,
I just feel like he burned too much of our attention in the crowd work stuff. So by the time he got into jokes, and he also like shoehorns in a political joke, which wasn't really even that political, other than just it involves Biden or a former candidate. So,
well, it's political in the way that Chevy Chase's Gerald Ford impression was political. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Just lots of pratfalls and fucking isn't it funny? It's not really that funny. Yeah,
well, it was that funny? Or just making fun of him being old, and then like throwing in like some disgruntled AI programmers to the mix, which I'm like, I don't get that. But so interesting mix. I was kind of pleasantly surprised by the first two. I was thinking like with brand new specials, kind of unknown comedians for me, like it could go south fast. But
and we've seen it go south fast. This was definitely one of our more enjoyable runs here. I definitely think the kicking it off with that first guy, Gary Vider, whatever. He was just solid enough to kind of, put us at least in a good enough mood to tolerate the other two.
Yeah, absolutely. It got my hope up for the rest of the set, and then kind of peaked and plateaued a little. But so what do people need to do, Sean? How do we get out of here?
We could just hit stop. I mean, I could just end the show. But before I do that, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and do all that shit. Phone a friend and tell an enemy, and help us get some eyeballs on this, and maybe we can fight some of these copyright strikes. If you're looking through the YouTubes for previous episodes and you see some missing, they are available on Rumble because YouTube is being a bitch. So check us out on all the formats, and let us know who you want to see, or if there's any comics out there that we should be taking a look at and tearing down.
Absolutely. And be sure to check out StandupTeardown.com. I think we'll make sure I'll make sure we have links to all those socials and episodes there. So feel free to hit that up to recommend comedians as well.
Right on. Well, see you next time. We'll be standing them up and tearing them down, I guess.
Sit down, it's time to read between the punchlines. They set them up, we knock them down. Why heckle at the show when you can heckle from the comfort of your own home? It's the Stand-Up Teardown, conducting comedy